La 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 la.
Inner Wealth Podcast.
La 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 la.
Inner Wealth Podcast.
La 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 la.
Inner Wealth Podcast.
Get out the matrix and live.
You know what day it is? Inner Wealth Podcast. Meditate and give. So manifest the greater this. And things all good cause I say it is. Invest in your inner wealth. Real generational wealth is mental health. It's an inside game, no toxicity. Let's talk and more listening. Ladies and gentlemen, and now introducing David McCullar, founder of Inception, the first mental health gym.
La 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 la.
Inner Wealth Podcast.
La 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 la.
Inner Wealth Podcast.
La 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 la.
Inner Wealth Podcast.
Get out the matrix and live.
Yes, indeed, powerful people. This is the Inner Wealth Podcast. We're breaking the machine. You dig?
What up, though, guys?
What's
up,
What's
man?
up? What's up?
Sitting with my boy Ahmad and Spank.
Yeah, what up, though? Spank Da Bank, baby.
Peace and blessings.
Bros, I had to bring y'all young bloods on because I want to really have a discussion on a lot of stuff that's happening right now, man. It impacts my generation. It impacts all of us, but y'all in y'all 20s, man. Y'all like damn near almost 20 years younger than me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like y'all, by the time all these changes happen, y'all gonna be in the midst of it. And so what we were talking about off air is Facebook announcing the Metaverse.
Metaverse.
And a lot of people don't know what that is. You know what that is, Spank?
I know it's a 3D world.
You know what that is, Ahmad?
I don't know much about it.
So the Metaverse, you know, Facebook owns Oculus.
Didn't know that.
Oculus is the virtual reality headsets, right?
Oh, that. Okay.
That's the virtual reality headsets. They own that. And so now they changed the name of the company to match what the next play is. You ever seen Ready Player One?
Mm-mm.
I ain't never seen Ready
It's
Player
on
One.
HBO Max. I
Never
gotta
seen
watch it.
Go watch that. Then you're gonna see. Basically, the world online now is 2D. We all got stores, right? You got stores. You can go buy clothing. You can buy all that. Well, imagine being able to go into a 3D world. You already got an avatar because you got whatever Instagram feed or whatever. You got your profile picture. Then your account represents you. So imagine going into this new meta world, put a virtual reality headset on, and now we can basically interact with each other as a 3D avatar in this virtual world. Think of playing Grand Theft Auto, but it's you. That's what it's going to be. And so NFTs, you're going to be able to buy NFT Jordans. You're going to buy NFT clothing. In a minute, we won't even care about what clothes we wear outside of here because most people will be spending all their money in the meta world. That's why you got to watch Ready Player One.
I seen the commercial of him fighting the what's the thing? What is it called? Our guy, whatever. What is it called? Mark Zuckerberg. He was fighting. What's the thing called when they be doing this?
Oh, lightsaber?
No, they got
fencing.
Fencing.
Yeah.
He had the thing going.
Yeah.
They was fencing, and he was like, "Man, that was a great job." I'm just like watching this commercial, like, wow.
This is changing everything for y'all.
I mean, we always said, my father always said, the world's gonna be like the Jetsons, but I didn't think it was gonna come this fast.
Well, I don't think it came fast enough, but we are definitely here in the next 5 years. It's going to be because technology has an exponential increase. Like what we've experienced in the last 15 years, we'll now experience growth like that in 1-2 years. So that's how fast it'll be.
So what do you tell us 20-year-olds to start looking into first to get really acquainted with this?
The crypto, because the crypto is going to be the thing that backs that world. Because you're gonna use money in that world to buy stuff. The crypto, NFTs is just okay. You can have an NFT painting in your house. They're actually selling digital real estate, and certain companies are creating 3D models that can create digital real estate. You can purchase it. So imagine you having a house in that 3D world, and you're inviting your friends to that house, and then you got your NFTs and all that on the wall. That's how it's gonna be. You got to go see Ready Player One, then you'll understand even further how it's going to be. Like it's changing drastically, and it's going to change money in terms of the powers that be currently. It's going to be exchange of wealth because people, you already said, it's already people who making millions of dollars. I know this young lady Nyla, she's already made where she had like $4 million worth of NFTs. Travis Scott, not Travis Scott. What's the other guy name? Tory Lanez. Is it Tory Lanez? I think it's Tory Lanez. He
Canada artist. Yeah.
He sold 1 million NFTs for $1, and now his NFT of his album is worth $50,000.
Damn.
Yeah. So that's what's coming for you guys, man. Is this stuff? I mean, you definitely gotta go look into it. And I want to talk to y'all because y'all younger and y'all should really be up on it. But also too, that's gonna change a lot of things. Like, let's talk about the nature of relationships. Like, what do y'all see relationships like these days?
I mean, well, the way I'm looking at it, and when I, even just from current stuff, what's going on in the world now, from what you're talking about with the metaverse, it just sounds like a bunch of unsatisfied people to me. Because, I mean, like, I don't know. I don't play video games because I'm trying to create the life that I want. You know, I feel like people who get into that, not saying, you know, if you get into the metaverse, you do not accepting reality, but it just shows you where we're at as a collective. Because who would want to sacrifice the real world for a world that's not even real? Because you rather something different than what's actually out here, because it's not structured the type of way that you want it. So you want to create something that's not real, but it feels real. So I feel like that's relationships, man. We creating something that not real, but it feels real. And a lot of these relationships are like that. It's just for Instagram, it's for social media now. Everybody's just trying to live up to this social construct of what things should be or what it should look like. But, you know, I'm even seeing it in my life, man. It's just like, you just got to accept it for what it is, man. And I feel like the biggest thing with the society that we live in now is just keeping stuff to yourself. Like, if it you know it's not gonna look right to somebody else, or you know your girl said this, and it's like, man, keep it to yourself, because that's how stuff blows up. Because you tell your mans and he like, no, man, because it was cool to you, but it's not cool to your mans. You know what I'm saying? It might not be cool to your, and he might not give you the sound advice that you really need to hear. So if you don't have those people around you that can really just let you know, like, my relationship isn't perfect, your relationship is not gonna be perfect. Not those people just telling you, like, usually the people telling you, hey, you chase perfection, is not in the relationship. You know what I'm saying? Those people telling you to chase this perfection, it has to be perfect, it has to be like this. You know, they're not in relationships. So that's kind of where I'm looking at it. It's just like everybody's just trying to chase this facade right now. And I catch myself doing it as well. You know, nobody's perfect, but
Yeah. I just deleted Instagram off my phone.
You did?
Yeah, because kind of what he said, like, even also social media bring like envy, and I'm not an envious person, but you do see, like, damn, what am I doing wrong? Or you see people that's like, all right, nigga, you just trying to make yourself feel good. It's like you can read people. So I just took that shit off. Like, I don't like posting my relationship on social media. Like, my girl always asking, like, why I don't really do it, just because shit, it's my private life. I really don't care to like display something. Maybe because I've done it before. You know what I'm saying? I had relationships, post them, but, you know, relationships didn't work out. You feel me? So now I'm to that point, like, you know, I can really care what goes on in that world, because it is another world. It is the Matrix. That's the Matrix. This new metaverse and everything, that's the Matrix. That's the Matrix. Like,
I mean, sometimes I be just trying to figure out, like, is a relationship real if you don't post it online? That's a good question.
No, for real.
I mean,
But
because I don't feel the need to.
That's a good question for both of y'all, because, again, that's so normalized for you.
Right.
That's not, I mean, my generation, they do it, but at the same time, there's still an old school understanding of keeping your relationship private.
Right.
Because truthfully, do you lock your doors at night?
Yep.
Right? You don't have the door wide open, right?
No.
So you don't just let anybody into your house, right?
Right. Yeah.
What about your car?
Lock.
So why you do that with a relationship? Why would you let your prized possession, because really your relationship
is your prize.
That's your prized possession. Yeah. If it's adding value, it's a prized possession, or it can be a non-prized possession. It can be bankrupting you, but that's your prized possession. So why would you let people into that? And that's like how I feel on my my social pages. If you come talk shit on my pages, man, I delete your comment or I restrict you. And somebody said, why wouldn't you leave a comment? Well, would I let you come into my house and talk shit to me? You be out quick, right? You know what your Facebook or your Instagram page represents when you call it the home page? That's your home. So why would you allow anybody to come in and just start talking craziness?
I got a question. What do you think is gonna happen to the sports world? Because I could see that being a virtual basketball game, virtual football game.
Listen, the pandemic already started that.
Mm-hmm.
So Travis Scott, I mentioned his name earlier. These 8 people died
Yeah.
at some concert. But you know he did a concert in the virtual world that had way more people, had like 17,000 people show up. So if people died at the Travis concert in real life, right?
So now it's gonna transfer.
What do you think is gonna happen?
It's gonna transfer
Well,
over.
why do we need to do this concert? Why don't we just keep it here? Because ain't nobody gonna die. And it ain't taking people, costing people money and stuff like that. The better that world gets, the more realistic that world gets, that's what's gonna happen.
I mean, that could have been an uplead to that.
Damn, the conspiracy
That
theorist
could-
in me
yeah.
is really agitated right
No,
now.
I know saying that conspiracy, like, you know, if we want to be conspiracy, like that could have been the. 'Cause I heard somebody was going around injecting people.
Yeah.
That's why I got so
yeah.
wild.
Really?
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
Injecting people with what?
I don't know.
Some type of drug.
And that guy,
And they were
everybody-
dying?
Well, they injected into security guard. What the police reported, they injected into one of the security guards. He's like the only confirmed reported person who was pricked. And I guess I don't know what it did to him, but I think he died, or he went to the hospital, or he went to like some type of
they
shock.
said it was like a concert in hell.
Yeah.
Wow.
But
No.
that's crazy. I can see that. But I think circling back to what you were saying about why, you wouldn't let somebody into your house, but you let them to your relationship. I think it's because a lot of us feel like what we have in our relationship is invaluable until somebody looks at it.
Validates it.
It's kind of like
Yeah.
the jewelry store.
Damn.
It's like,
Yeah.
man, is this chain really real? I got to bring it to the jeweler and see if this gold is really real. Put it to the acid test to see if it's really real. So sometimes we look at our relationship and it's not worth nothing until the homie be like, yeah, man, you got something good here. Or your family tell you got something good here.
Yo,
your
if
mama.
I found a diamond on the ground, I ain't showing none of y'all.
But that's
like-
that's how we perceive these things. So we got to bring it to granny first. We got to bring it to mama. We got to bring it to all these people so they can tell us if this diamond is real, if this gold is real. They gonna put her through the acid test,
fuck
and that's
up a
why we letting
relationship.
people bring them in our relationship.
I feel like that fuck up a relationship. Like me, for a while, I didn't even want to tell my parents I was getting engaged.
Because you were afraid of the criticism that might have come
Yeah,
along with
I feel like it's my life.
it. Yeah.
I'm
Like,
to the-
is she in the church? She love the Lord?
Them definitely questions, they ask. No, for real, but it'd be like, why do all that
When
matter?
she get saved, man. She
Yeah.
speak in tongues.
No, hell no.
She baptized in the fire of the Holy Ghost. that's type of questions?
Yeah, it'd be them type of. It just be like, man, that's my life. Shit, I'm choosing who I want to be with. Like,
Yeah.
I just feel like, hey, this is who I pick.
The technology advanced so fast with social. I mean, we went from having flip phones to, because back in the day, MySpace, Black Planet, all these other sites, you had to sit down at the computer
Yeah,
and log in. So when you left. You going the whole day. You didn't gonna get on your MySpace unless you may be at work. But work, where I worked at, they had a firewall, so they weren't even gonna allow you to. You couldn't look at nothing but MSN homepage. Like look at the news. You couldn't go on MySpace. So you get home and you look at your MySpace, and that's when you logged in. But when this phone came along, and those apps got on the phone, now you can tie yourself and you can open it up and look at it all day. So this new tool came about where we have to adapt to learn how to use the tool. That's like a kid who has a gun, right? You end up shooting somebody, shoot yourself because you don't know how to wield the resource. I look at the internet and I look at the metaverse, and this is how I would challenge you to look at it. Don't look at it from the consumer standpoint. I'm not a consumer.
look at it as a producer standpoint.
I'm a master in it.
Yeah.
I'm going in it to impart my value into it. Because at one point I was going to get off Instagram. And I thought to myself, I said, I'm going to get off Instagram. This was some years ago. And then I just had this thought, man. It was like, but if you don't shine your light, then who will?
And that's like, so this morning, that's great that you say that. I don't want to get back on there until I become the master. So basically, I don't want to come back on there until I am the product.
But what does that mean? What does that mean for you to become the product? What do you feel like you have to be like to become the product?
Consistent, The star. Shoot, the star. That's
But
just
you
in my
are,
mindset.
but you got a podcast.
Yeah.
This Breaking the Machine podcast, and you add value on there. Them are your clips that you cut up and drop them on your page. Ahmad do it all the time. Your homie do it.
Yeah, he do.
You got the value, bro. You already got a podcast. How many episodes y'all did?
26.
You know what the average episode is? Number of episodes a podcaster does?
10.
7.
Wow.
Bro, you've already broke through a threshold that most people don't even reach. So what product? That's what y'all generation suffer from. Perfection.
And that's what I was just about to
When
say.
I gotta become the product, I'm like, well, what's the product, bro?
Facts.
And that's what I was just about to say. I feel like you see the product brings some type of value to the consumer, but you already bringing value. Your value is just not perfect, just like mine isn't perfect. But if we can accept that we do bring value, like even in our imperfections, man, the people who watch our podcast, they just seeing us being perfect and seeing us having conversations and work through it, and it brings them value and it helps sharpen them. So it's like, man, maybe sometimes they don't need a perfect example. Sometimes they don't need a perfect product.
No.
Sometimes they just need something.
Bro, that's
Life.
the inner wealth.
Mm-hmm.
It's the non-perfection. If you played a video game and you put God mode on, a cheat mode, that shit is boring. It's fun for like 10 minutes.
That's what the metaverse sounds like to me. It's like playing
but it's not
in creative
God
mode
You
in Minecraft. It's like,
what if you die in the metaverse? Like,
That's a good question. Can you die in that month?
so on Ready Player One, you can literally, they have a scoreboard and you can die and you can lose all your stuff. But you can respawn, but you just start back from zero. So now you got something to lose if you playing these games in there. So you better play wisely. You better build your skill up before you go play something that you can lose your life with, right?
Like I was watching TikTok. Like Prince Darnell was saying, that's the new.
He caught up in some stuff, so but
I
go
was
ahead.
true.
Yeah,
Hey,
man.
I've been
I was
saw
thinking
that,
the
but go
same
ahead.
thing.
But I mean, all greats got to go through that shit. Some type of scam or somebody saying they did this. You know, I feel like
Yeah, but when you got the attorney general coming at you, bro, Spank, that's a whole nother level, bro.
yeah.
And I
he gonna be
seen the
straight.
page
Yeah.
because they commented, but no, he not gonna be straight.
You don't think so? Well, I hope the brother is because I learned a lot from like
And that shows you that you can learn people from who are imperfect.
yeah.
Because it don't mean that he knows what's going on, that he willfully or intentfully did it, right? You still learn, right?
Mm-hmm.
An imperfect teacher can still teach you.
Yeah. So he was talking about TikTok. How TikTok is the new brand. How many seconds? Like he said, how he studied TikTok. Like, you know, I make a video for like 30 seconds. This how many people watch it. This how like, you know, he can get his brand off the map. He was telling people like TikTok is not just for
Not
kids.
anymore.
It's really for everyone. And TikTok is really the new wave. And I'm like, dang. And I was trying to, you know, I'm trying to learn TikTok, but I don't.
It's the same thing, bro. You just gotta take 1 minute clips of your podcast and 1 minute clips of you saying something, right? Just like you said something a minute ago. Take that 1 minute clip and post it with a hashtag, and then you got to keep doing it.
Yeah,
That's
consistency.
it. That's it. You're not going to get, you know, again. So y'all generation, y'all
Perfection.
want one hitter quitters too.
Yeah.
I want this one post that's gonna go viral and I'm gonna gain it. But it's consistency versus intensity. That one post of just blasting, that's an intense thing. You know, when my page grew from like, I had like 1,700 people and it just grew. I just went viral and I went like from 1,700 to like 12,000 in like a week. And all these followers was coming in, bro. It was like dopamine overload. I was just like, my brain was just like, yo, just all these people in inboxes. I was like,
Yep.
and I got addicted. I had to keep looking because it kept feeling like that's how porn is. Now, I got to keep looking.
Damn.
I got to keep seeing because I'm getting off on this. Like, damn, all these people coming in. Wow. And you do that for 8 hours a day. My brain was burnt out.
Yeah, I done went viral a couple of times, so I know exactly what you
Yeah, I
mean.
went
Yeah,
viral
because
on
your
Twitter.
page, you went viral on Twitter?
Yeah.
Wow. See, I don't even mess with Twitter like
after
that.
But this was years ago. Like after that day, like my shit was just ringing on my phone. Nigga, after like a day or two, that shit died off.
And so what happens if you go get this following off this one video and now you don't even have the ability to
Continue, keep them up, keep them there.
keep up the content, So it just goes back down to, again, I think y'all generation might be programmed with seeing stuff happen overnight. And do y'all feel that, or is that an accurate statement?
Yeah. Hell yeah, that's an accurate statement. Hell yeah. I mean, shoot, you look up like Ha Davis for example. I mean, I've been seeing him put in work for years, but you look up, it feel like he came overnight. Like social media make it feel like people came overnight and conquered. But if you look at who else is King Karan, you know what I'm saying? It like feel like he happened overnight, but no, he been putting in work for years. Desi Banks, you feel like he just conquered the world overnight. He on tour. DC Young Fly, like all of them, you feel like they been like they have everything happened to them just like that, but they all got a backstory.
But do you feel like that deters your generation from actually keeping going? Does that get them to stop? It just feels like, well, I just can't do that.
Like, it's easy for our generation to follow. Like, our generation kind of a little messed up. I feel like we're going to follow to the wrong hole. And we just going to all dive in there.
Was that the thought process of why y'all created y'all podcast, Breaking the Machine? Was kind of like y'all trying to break that mindset?
Yeah, but, you know, break that social construct. But, like, I feel like that's in anything, and I feel like that brings peace when you understand that. It's so much work that gets put in the background that you don't see. And if you really just understand that, then you'll just have peace of mind about this stuff. Like, even with our podcast, right? It looks like we just got off, you know, we just started at the top of this year and, you know, we hit the ground running and stuff. But that's because other work was put in prior to, you know what I'm saying, us even having a podcast.
Me and him did a podcast they never aired.
2 of them and never aired. And, you know, in terms of my platform, the Ancestral Plane, building that following, it's really easy to grow a podcast when you have a platform with 250,000 followers, you know, and you can put it up there. But somebody else, they want to start a podcast and then get the numbers that we get. No, because I spent 4 years creating that platform.
Yeah.
So this other platform could be faster. You know what I'm saying? Just like with anything, people don't know the work that goes on in the behind the scenes for it to go that quickly. And I mean, I have this conversation with my little brother, even, you know, in stocks. I was having a conversation with Spank the other day, and man, I'm giving him money to invest in stocks and Forex because he's like a Forex genius and giving him money. And he done lost a lot of my money. I'm just giving him hundreds, until we get into the thousands, he just losing my money. And I was just telling him, like, this is the cycle. You putting in your time, but you feel like you supposed to get that $10,000 lick. You getting that $10,000 a month. I say, man, you ain't earn your keep yet. You didn't earn it because you have to lose the money first. You have to lose all of this first for you to be that master and you to be able to come and talk to somebody. Because I told him, I said, man, we in 2 different phases of life. I graduated you in your sophomore year. And you still hungry. You want that fly car. You want to impress the girls. Because I didn't impress the girls. Because I didn't get the money. So you still want the things. You still scared of losing it or still scared to be on that other end. I was on the opposite side of the 8 ball. I know what that other side feel like. So those same things that's pulling on you don't pull on me because I didn't already experience not having it. You. That's why I told him, I said, you ever grinded or thought about grinding for something for 6 years straight and not getting to where you thought you was? I've been doing the social media stuff for 6 years straight and I still haven't been able to reach the type of stuff that I actually want to reach. And it's been 6 years. I'm like, Eileen, do you think, well, that's my little brother's name. I'm like, you think you could grind for 6 years doing this stocks and still not to be able to touch 10K a month? How would that make you feel? It'd be like impossible in your mind.
Yeah.
But it's certain people that done that, man. They
But
in
it's
that time.
crazy that we think like that because we look at people like ball players. You had to play ball from the time you was damn near 6 years old to 21 to get drafted. Now it begins. You didn't get paid from 6 to 21. You might have had some social currency depending on how good you were, but you just now getting paid.
Depending how big that first check is, that's probably it. A lot of them just like, I got it. Ain't no point playing ball no more.
So that reality exists, but at the same time, I mean, piggybacking off what you just said, that a lot of your generation don't understand process.
No,
and that's the one. I mean, I try not to make the metaverse about fear, but if you seeing people making $50 million off NFTs, I mean, I walked away like, what the hell am I doing? Like, why am I doing this? Somebody just made $50 million off a digital thing. What am I put? Like, really? I'm in the wrong business. And I've had these moments. That wasn't the first time I had that moment. Man, I had that moment for the last 15 years. Every year. Because I can easily see somebody in my circle doing numbers. And I ain't doing those numbers. So then you like, but I feel like for my business to have grown, I had to shed a lot of beliefs, man. Disbelief. And my business didn't grow until I started believing in myself more. You have to be able to break 100,000, break your first 100,000. There's a whole thing where people have a hard time cracking that 100,000 in business. But once you crack it, we said this when we was upstairs, you can't unsee what you've seen. So now I'm at the state where like, $100,000, that ain't nothing.
Right.
I need to crack 1 million, you know? Then I need to crack 1 billion. But I don't look at cracking it by looking at the money. I look at cracking it by looking at the amount of value I can add. Because if I can add massive amounts of value, then it's easy to crack 1 billion.
So that's how I look at my wholesaling. Like when I do my real estate. So I look at the value I can bring to my buyer. So if I can, all right, my buyer bringing in 50 homes a month, how can I bring in an extra 25 or 50? You know, so that's how I really, look at because at first I was just looking at the money. You know, I had I'm gonna get 100,000, that's how I'm gonna do it. But the more I kept falling and falling, like, bro, I'm not adding value.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How can I add value to, so my first deal, I just closed my first deal, but it was with a guy I knew.
Well, congratulations, first of all.
Thank you. Yeah, I just closed my first deal, and it been a hassle. So,
but you got it. You got it. You know, something breaking the ice.
Yeah, I broke
you have to break that ice, man.
Yeah, so
breaking the machine.
But like now, I see it's all right. So my homeboy, I got his house for sale, cash offer. So now, after he get his check and everything, I'm gonna ask, can we take a picture, like on the internet? Now I'm thinking about the value way. Now can we take a picture and be like, hey, I bought, this guy bought my house, cash offer. Mess with Spank. Now I can bring more value to my business, also to his business, and also to my buyer business. So now I'm working on creating that train because of flow. Because a business transaction is a spiritual action. I read that today. So I'm just trying to keep that spiritual, wealth coming in so I can get broke. At the end of the day, I want to be rich. Shit, I ain't trying to be broke.
So that goes into this conversation about what's your thoughts on today's way of making money, because I'm sure y'all got the last bit of the whole, you supposed to go to school.
Yeah.
How when y'all heard that younger, what was y'all first initial emotional reaction to that ideology?
I loved it.
To go to school and get a job?
To go to college was my dream.
Yeah.
And I think it had more to do with the environment that I was brought up in rather than the actual college itself. I just wanted to, I'm looking at these, movies and stuff, and I'm just like, man, that just looks like a dream. I don't want to be here, and that looks safe. It looks nice. Everybody looks nice. Everybody's laughing. It looks like a good time. So that was the dream that was impregnated in my mind. I just wanted to go to college, no matter what. People say get rich or die trying. I was going to go to college and
Did your parents go?
trying. Yeah, both of my parents went to college.
They both finished?
Both of them graduated.
See,
so that's another thing, when you can...
you see it. So, that was my whole thing. But when I look at it in terms of money, just going back to what you were saying about the $100,000 threshold, I feel like oftentimes in the hood, $10,000 is a threshold. A lot of these households in the hood ain't never seen $10,000 on retainer, $10,000 in the bank account just sitting there. We live in check to check, paycheck to paycheck.
Which
and
is so terrible.
And it's terrible. It's terrible as hell. But a lot of us never get to that 10,000 threshold. And I feel like, you said your number one thing to break the threshold. My number one thing to break the threshold to me is patience. That's what it is, man. I didn't see it with stocks. I didn't see it with all that. You can't take a small step of incrementally making $100 a day because you want to go for $1,500 this day, and you lose it all because you wasn't patient. But if you would have just did $100 a day, you would have had 3 bands at the end of the month. But instead, you wanted to go to the 15 that one day, and you lost it all that one day.
You sound like you're talking about me, because I did that.
No, I'm talking to my little brother, man.
I did that.
Stop losing my money, man.
No, you do gotta be patient. That's true.
I was doing binary options trading. And I was like, man, if you compound interest and you do options, you can use a whole calculator can do.
Yes,
If you just make
yes,
10% off your money in one day, shut it down. You know? So if I go and I'm gonna do options of $70 and I make $7, I'm done. Go to the next day, I got $77. Now the next day I'm gonna make $7.70. Compounding. That's the formula that I know, and by the time you get to like month 3, your money's in the thousands, right? But the problem is you get greedy.
You like, I know I keep, you only invest with your wins, really, your revenue, whatever you make. Like if you put in 500 and then you double it to 1,000, take the 500 out and then just play with your wins. But the problem with it is like, dang, what if I bet the whole 1,000 though?
Well, I'm saying,
Shit, I did that at the casino. Bro, I been times at the casino, bro. I go in with 100. It's been times at the casino, I went in $25, came out 500. But like, I go in the casino.
But how many losses you took to get that 500?
Shoot, I took a couple. It been times like I be back at my last 25. I'm like, fuck. I end up back winning again. But that's something I keep doing. Like I'll be up 500, right? And I'm like, I'm gonna play this whole 500.
You can't just walk away.
No, I can't.
Because that the house always wins. Is
It
the
does.
thing. Because even if you walked away
Always.
and you won, you probably lost so much. It's kind of like Dave & Buster's, right? You go to Dave & Buster's, you got all these tokens and these credits, and you win all these tickets to go and get your stuffed animal, but you didn't realize that you spent probably about $50 and the stuffed animal cost about $2. You know,
you better off just buying it up at the
right. But at that point, they know psychologically you're conditioned towards I'm a win because I won, but you didn't win. But at the same time, how many shots you gonna take in ball?
Man, only
50% is like you a baller. You shooting 50% from the field.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, if you shooting 50% from 3, you Steph Curry.
Yeah.
you shooting 33%, you good.
Yeah.
35%.
Right, from
3.
Yeah.
But I feel like the biggest thing, even with that, is, when we look at the way a lot of this money is circulating, man, these children a lot of them, they don't want to. The way they perceive college is totally different the way that we perceive college. Working in the inner city schools, it's just like you hear it oftentimes. A lot of them they want to do the illegal route.
Really?
They want to take a lot of these other routes because the pandemic really changed everything, man. It changed.
Go get a trade.
You
I
seeing
tell my students go get a trade.
the number of people quitting their jobs is like skyrocketed, man.
You a teacher?
Yeah, working towards it. Yeah,
Okay.
But
You do real estate.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Sorry about that, Mark.
And it's all good. But the number of people leaving their jobs has skyrocketed in a way, and that's because of unemployment. People getting unemployment. People doing PPP. People,
Yeah, I should have stayed
scamming
on.
the
I
government.
should have kept that PUA, bro. I was getting like, almost 1,300 2 weeks, bro. I'm like, man, fuck a job.
And that's the mindset. That's the mindset.
But that's the mindset because one, a lot of people's jobs was bullshit jobs. That's gonna all be replaced by automation.
Yeah.
So we talking about the metaverse. We ain't even talking about what's coming with AI happening now. I mean, when we not just talking about low level jobs too, man, they'll be able to replace lawyers. My boy played with this Google AI bot. I can't remember the name of it, man. But that whole thing can have full blown conversation and debate. You can program the bot to have a debate with itself about a topic.
Damn.
No, if the bot is taking in so much information and it's piecing everything together, like any question you can ask. The database is there. It's like it's connected to the net.
That's why I was looking into cybersecurity. I was looking at a lot of stuff that's dealing with technology because that's the new wave. We got to tap in that.
Well, I got into that when I was 18. I knew about that. That's why I went to a trade school. Went to a technical trade school, and after that, I never had work really outside of the tech field. Because I came out of college at that time. I was not even college. It was the tech school. 7 months. Making like 30K. I think I'm like 19, 20. I had a work van, laptop, pager, cell phone, 30K coming out. Kids now coming out of school making like 40.
Yeah.
You talking about inflation. that 30 then was like 40, 45.
Mm.
You know, and then I added, the money goes up, but from trades. But now that the trades need to be, you can go build stuff in the actual metaverse. Everything that's in here, in this world, is gonna be built in that world.
Yeah, they just want to be rich, man. You know, our generation, the younger generation, they just want to be rich.
But money
Don't
is
nobody,
fake.
You know.
Well, it's a collective idea that, something we put value in. This is valuable, but we can trade that and say, you know what, this Wallow book, this is the new currency if we all agree upon it. You know,
Shout out Wallow 267.
yeah, it's now that's the new currency, but that's what's happening with crypto. Some of it actually has backing though, and some of it doesn't, or utility.
Crypto just got a commercial yesterday. It's called Crypto.com. That was the first commercial. I seen.
You talking about the app?
Yeah,
Yeah,
They guys,
I use that app.
Yeah, they showing on doing the football games now. I can't wait to the Super Bowl type of commercial they're gonna show for NFTs and stuff.
Oh, it's gonna be crazy. Artists gonna come out with stuff with NFTs and stuff like that. So on your guys' podcast, it seemed like y'all have like guests. I mean, I've been on there. I've seen Courtney on there. It seemed like y'all having some real, I want to call it deep conversations with people. Like, is that the format of the show or?
Yeah, I mean, I think that was the original format to begin with, but I feel like us really getting into the mental health conversation, it was something that kind of just landed in our laps. You know, I don't think we planned on having those type of conversations. I just wanted to have elevating conversations about breaking the social construct of what, a successful black man is supposed to be, what an upstanding man is supposed to be, all these different things, breaking those social constructs. But I don't know what episode was really the turning point, but
Courtney's.
You're right. You're right. I think it was probably by the second Courtney episode. I'm noticing the retention on his episode. People is watching it all the way through. I'm noticing the number spike, and I'm noticing the comments. I'm noticing you're right. It was Courtney, and they just like, man, I've never heard this conversation with young black men. And it be this vulnerable like that. And then I was just like, dang, they really love to hear us talk about our mental health.
Basically, we showing how to deal with trauma and still live to be your best version. I feel like that's what we really going with it. Like,
and showing how you can live with it and not destroy you. Like, just on the outside looking in, you just think, oh, man, they moving, they shaking, they doing all this other stuff. But there's some stuff going on the inside. You know what I'm saying?
There's always stuff going on. And I don't care, in your life, my life, every level you go up, there's going to be different challenges, and you're going to have to overcome those challenges. Big say more money, more problems, but I just think it's more money I don't really think I believe that. I think the higher up you go, there's different challenges, but they're typically not money if you know how to manage it properly, but it's other things. It's these people who want to talk to you and be next to you, and you don't know their intentions. And that's why that's why these songs No New Friends and things of that nature. And you see, the more that y'all become popular, you're gonna garner that attention. People gonna be walking up to you. They do it now?
No.
Oh wait.
Yeah.
No, wait.
It's gonna be like I think what it is
y'all
for
just
me,
had the 9 on your podcast dropping today too. And that's M-Boy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you see the connections?
Yeah.
Oh, y'all had him? Oh.
I just feel like with me, I feel like the more successful I get, it's the envy that comes with it. Like, I know I have a lot of friends. That grew up in the hood, got that hood mentality. I was talking to one of my mans. He went the other night. He went to jail. He just got out, and I was like, we so rushed to get to the bag. I don't want him to get the bag before me, because when he get it, he ain't gonna know what to do with it. You know what I'm saying? So once I make it, somebody gonna be like, he ain't gonna know what to do with it. He ain't gonna know what to do with that money, or he ain't gonna know what to do with that popularity. You know what I'm saying? I do it better than he do. So that's when the envy and shit come. So I think that'd be my biggest fear in the back of my head. Just that envy, thinking somebody gonna like come and get me or something. Because that's the type of.
Yeah, that don't scare me.
But no, but I just feel like that's the type of my environment.
Myself, that's what scares me.
On what you gonna do with it?
And that's what I tell people all the time. Sometimes we be so close to a lick, we be so close to an opportunity, and it don't go through. I didn't had a million opportunities supposed to go through, a million conversations, people saying they're gonna do a million things and it never goes through. And it's like, why didn't it happen? It's because I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready to receive that blessing. I wasn't ready to get that money. You know, I invested in Dogecoin the night of SNL. It was the big SNL night, and it
dropped.
plummeted.
Yeah.
I lost $5,000 that night. You know, and it was just like,
man.
you know, all this. I mean, I made a whole bunch of money, but I lost a whole bunch as well. And it's just like, man, I can't really catch that. I'm always. I invested in Shiba like 6 months ago, and then
And you sold it?
Sold it for a couple $100 because you know I needed that couple $100, and then I'm like,
bro,
you know,
let me tell y'all, if you go too high too quick, ain't nowhere else to go from there but down. So the journey again. Do you want to play the game where everything is given to you and you only on level 2? It's the incremental increases. Those things built you. The losses. I've taken losses and the financial thing too. And you know what? When we would take our losses, everybody got quiet. And we had to call people. You blew your account.
I asked my cousin for like $20 with your Calvin Drum. I said no, but even that, like, nigga, why do that even matter? If my shit was
because
overdrawn.
you know, people have our self-esteem is attached to the external wealth. You know, that's how we attach it.
Yeah.
So it's not a. They feel less than at that point. You know what I'm saying? Especially if if you got now, like I said, we observing each other, and you on there, you balling. Spank got 5,000 subscribers on YouTube.
But I think that's why another reason. That's all that play a part. Why I probably be going on and off on the net. You know what I'm saying? There's too many people watching.
But you know that was always the thing for me, and I talked about this on the previous episode. I forgot what episode we was talking about. It might have been Uncomfortable Conversations, but I was just saying, like, I see it changing me now. You know, I saw it changing me now. You know, just like life changed for me with the podcast. The podcast changed my life already. You know, and we not even like really big, but it's just like I even see it just change the way that you know.
I don't feel like you changed. I just feel like you just more confident in yourself.
But you're gonna change.
I think that's what it is.
You're not gonna change who you are. You just become more of who you are. So if you're an asshole, you heard the term. You're an asshole without money. When you get it, you're gonna be an asshole then, right? It's just gonna bring out. And for myself, I feel you. That confidence level in myself, I'm like, bro.
Yeah, it's the confidence.
I can build a rocket ship.
Yeah, it's the confidence. Yeah.
You know, people may think like that's what do you want to call it? Arrogant or something. It's like, no. I saw Elon Musk create a rocket, and I totally believe if he can do it, I can too.
Yeah, if people want you to be down at their level. Fuck that. I'm keeping myself up, and that's why I messed up at. You know, especially I know in pandemic I found myself. I was at a high self. I made a lot of motherfuckers uncomfortable, but I brought myself back down. But now it's like, nah, I need to bring myself back up. I don't care if you feel uncomfortable around my intelligence or the way I act or the way I move, the way I feel. You get on my level, you get the fuck on. And that's where it's to now. Like for real, with anybody, it's just I don't think I'm better than nobody, but shit, I got this superpower in me that need to go off.
Yeah,
and that just means I got to take action every day. And a lot of people scared of that.
They say birds of a feather flock together, and then the more and more you go up, you start to realize iron sharpens iron. Yeah, and you have to be around people. I remember I told you this upstairs, right? We were just talking about that. Like I realized, like in Silicon Valley, the stuff they're doing there, like everybody there has an app idea. Everybody there know about VCs, and so the stuff that they're building is nothing. It's nothing to go raise $5 million to start your company because they live in that ecosystem of building, right? But when you're not in that, who do you look to? Is you. So that's why you have to get online and start to find those channels of people doing that. So I started watching videos of and Anthony Robbins talks about this, finding models, finding somebody to model after. There's one guy I know who started. This guy started his gym probably around the same time. Maybe I started Inception or after. He already cracking like 100 million. But now he's doing these podcast episodes on showing you stuff, and I'm watching it. And I'm like, it's validating what I'm doing, and I know I'm on the right track. Because I'm like, no, he's played the game already. Because, dude, it's all a game. It's all a game. You see it. Every star who you know who got big, they all got some story, right?
The game is playing victim.
Now that's the game that you don't want to play.
No, not playing victim, but not playing victim. But the game is the game is you came from a sad story, telling your sad story to inspire others.
Yeah.
That's the game.
Well, every superhero show or movie you watch, what's in there? Tragedy.
Tragedy, yeah.
The only difference is they don't stay stuck in the tragedy. Our people, a lot of time, we've had so much tragedy.
We stay stuck.
You stay stuck. And it's no fault of our own in terms of the trauma. The issue is when we need to get out, but we don't, because again, we have too much around us keeping us down. That's why do we try to leave our hood so much? Why?
Because ain't nothing there. I ain't trying to be around there.
Because lack of safety in there.
Yeah.
So you try to leave out of it. But what if we start helping people in our own communities to overcome those traumas?
Which that should be the goal, and then everything would be better.
Yeah, because it's not about gaining money and leaving your neighborhood. Like, why is that like that? Why we gotta leave our neighborhoods after we made it?
They don't teach us how to rebuild them.
Huh?
They don't teach us how to rebuild them and put it like a.
But who was they? Who was they that's supposed to teach us?
The powers that be.
Why would they teach you? They had you enslaved. Why would they teach you?
Whoever made the project.
Why would they teach you though? I think that the people who like ourselves, you're going up. Well, you want to call it reach back. I don't even think it's just reach back. I just think it's adding value.
Yeah.
But you're gonna also realize that you can't help those who don't want to be helped. It's gonna be some who want to, and there's actually we just launched a podcast today with Andre Norman, and he said something that struck me. He said, I don't believe in, people don't want to be helped. It's just that there's a stage that happens before being helped, and he's in that stage. So we need people who are the ones who willing to help those who say they're not, or you can sense they're not willing to be helped. They just need to have a first layer of that support before they can get those who can help you. You know what I'm saying? So, for instance, if I kind of come to you, if you come to me and say, Dave, I want you to invest in my company, and I look at your company and you ain't got a business plan, you don't know the numbers, but you got a good idea. But I can't help you yet. You need to go work with this person first before I can help you. You're too early at the early stage. So it's kind of like that in a sense.
No, I completely agree. And I even see that, man, I see that working with the, young children all the time, man. Like, you see one of them that's really, like, apt to get the game, and then there's another one, like, you can give them all the game in the world. They're not getting nothing. It's because they're not in that stage to receive. They're not in the building stage. They're in the tear down stage. They're like, man, I got some stuff in me. I'm still tearing it down. Then another one he's all the way at the bottom, and he ready to build. And then another one's still about doing the demolition in himself. So it's like, you got
I just think when it comes to children, it's all about what's their interest. So, like, I've been working with kids for a long time, and he can be terrible in science class. Like, he can be a goofball, but in math, he's sitting down quiet and really learning. So it's all about, to me, what are the children, what is they interested in? Like, I got one kid I know how to draw real well. Cole, he drew me a Goku picture. Like, it was sweet. But he will not pay attention in class. But he can draw.
So it's all about, nurturing your gifts. What's some of y'all gifts? What y'all gifted in?
Man, I do a lot of stuff. I draw. I used to rap back in the day. I do poetry now, but I used to rap
like
back
sports.
in the day.
But what's your main gift that you need to sharpen? The thing that you're good at, that literally can take you.
I think about talking.
Public speaking.
Yeah, public
Say
speaking.
communication. Exactly.
Yeah.
I was waiting. What's my gift?
Yeah. Communication, yeah.
So having a podcast, right? And have y'all both noticed that the more y'all did y'all podcast, that gift has sharpened?
Yeah.
Did your episodes start off the same way that you start off now?
Nah.
No.
Oh.
Nah.
But I also feel like I talk too much. I feel like it's me working on my gift. Like, yes, I'm like, bro, I talk too much.
I think you feel that way because you're talking to people who don't add value to you, so you have to talk.
I was thinking the same thing, man.
So explain that a little bit more. So.
If you around me, I'm probably going to be doing a lot of the talking. Not because I'm better than you, but because I'm older than you and I've had more life experiences, so I have a lot to be able to impart into you. It doesn't mean you can't impart anything to me, but you're in a stage right now because we're not peers. I'm more like and again, when I'm saying this, don't make this seem like, these hierarchies of better and worse. It's just that I'm more what's the word? It's not influencer, but it's like mentor.
Yeah.
More like a mentor role.
Right.
Again, I'm gonna learn from you. That's why I'm asking you stuff. So you're not gonna talk as much.
Right.
Not because you don't have anything to share. So when you're around people, are you typically the one that's doing the imparting?
Yeah, I'm doing a lot of talking.
Yeah, because you have more of the value to give because you're at a different stage in your life. But you need that. You need to be able to do that. I'm doing a lot of talking around people. And and then when I found somebody who I was around who's like, yo, this dude doing it, I'm like this. I'm just listening.
I said it on the podcast one time, didn't I? Depends what room you in.
Yeah,
Depends on what room you in. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't think you talk too much. I just think you giving away, you giving away what you need to give away.
Yeah, I feel like it's a lot of stuff I learned. It's hard to hold it in.
That's you trying to be a teacher. You're a teacher, you're a communicator.
Yeah.
He's a teacher and communicator. I'm a teacher, I'm a communicator. That's our gifts. That's why we doing what we do.
Yeah.
It's like when Mr. Porter said trying to heal to know. But I feel like we just trying to get a game that we didn't have. So it's like, man, if I was your age and I knew this, man, let me give you this. And it come off that certain type of way. But I feel like being around an OG or being around a mentor or somebody who's imputing knowledge and giving you some game, it's not nothing to be looked down upon. You know what I'm saying? Like he looking down or he trying to sun you. It's just really, he's really leveling you up to go somewhere that he couldn't go because he giving you the game at a later age and you in an earlier stage. So he giving you the game at an earlier stage so you can be on a different trajectory. He's really doing you a big favor. You know what I'm saying? So anytime you're around somebody who's, really giving you that game and they didn't already experience some life, man, I don't think it's nothing to be like, I'm trying to sun you. No, it's just like, man, he taking me to the next level, whether he know it or not. Whether he is trying to sun me, I'm still going to be able to go on a different trajectory because he's giving me what he didn't have.
And I felt like, me and my business partner, we used to always say, man, we would meet other black men when this is 10, 15 years ago. I'm y'all age. And we hustling and we trying to do the thing and they would be trying to sun us. They wouldn't even try to impart the information. They be like, shit, I got mine. You figure out how to get yours.
Yeah.
And they was just like, I'm just like, yo, I see you got these businesses. Like, I'm willing to sit at your feet and say, how you build this, how you do this. If you need me to wash your car for you,
Bro.
or
Put
do
me
whatever,
in the game, coach.
Bro.
yo, I used to drive my bishop to church every Sunday, bro. I used to get up 6 o'clock, drive him to church, because I just wanted him to impart some game into me, bro.
That's all, bro. So, I remember one time I was on the phone with him, bro. I got a mentor, bro. And everything you saying, that's exactly how I felt. And I just tell him, like, bro, I'll drive away to Ann Arbor to come see one of your buildings.
Right.
Bro, when I call, it's just I was want to hear, like, some type of knowledge, bro. I'll be around you 24/7 if I could.
Right.
I want to be a part of this. I want to be a manager at your at one of your properties. You ain't got to pay me.
I've literally,
And I hate that shit. Like,
I've just random people, and I'll say I'll mentor you, and they'll look. One person said to me recently, "But why me?" And I said, "Why not you?" And I would think, well, why did I choose that person? Because it's just something there that I'm like, no, I need to do this with this person. And I did that with one of my young guys, man. He came up and spent a year with me, lived with me, because I was trying to help him to elevate. I can't elevate him. Nobody can elevate you.
no.
You have to take that in and do the work and start to rise by what they're giving you. Because nobody can do it for you. Because if I do it for you, then I'm really crippling you. You know, you got to go out and mess the deals up.
Yeah,
you got to go out and mess the. But if you bring me the paperwork, I'm gonna tell you, don't do this, and then you may be thinking, oh, I'm gonna do this anyway, and then it mess up. I'm gonna, well, bro, I told you I gave you the game, but you still gonna mess up. You still gonna have to learn. Yeah. Anybody who come and try to rip stuff off from me, and I've seen it, you still got your own price to pay. You still got your own price to pay.
Yeah,
no
that's
matter.
why I don't be tripping. Like, if a nigga cut me in business, I'll let that shit go.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you gotta deal with that shit.
And I think the biggest thing, man, even with that, one of the biggest things, even with that, it's like, that's why it's important for us to break that. You know what I'm saying? To break that. Any little game we got that we can impute, that's what I try to do. And I try to, you know, when I'm giving it, I just try to let them know, like, man, I'm not trying to son you. I'm just giving you that game because I've been felt like that for years, man. You be up under these, you know, success. And it's like that. Like I was telling Spank, we was having the conversation. I said, man, sometimes they just keep you around to, like, be fresh. You know what I'm saying? You got these people, they already established in the game. They already got this, that. But they keep you around to say, hey, man, what's going on in, you know, in this area? What's going on there? Because they out of it. You know what I'm saying? They out of the element.
No.
But we young. We in the element. And it's like, man, you just keeping me around just because, you know what I'm saying? It's like you think I can provide some value for you, but you're not really, like, teaching me the game. Like, man.
Well, that in that situation, that's not a completed circle. If
not.
I got you around me, because I know y'all young and y'all into the game, but don't believe that I ain't gonna connect you. You know what I'm saying? That I ain't gonna put you on. That's why y'all gotta ask me too. You know what I'm saying?
And I think that's
what mentorship. With mentorship, like I offered you some mentorship. You gotta come to me, bro. I can't come give you the game. But if you come and you seek me out, bro, I'm a hit you. It may not be as quick as you want it, but I'm gonna get you. You know what I'm saying? I had to learn that when I was being mentored. Like my mentor told me, like, man, you want what I have, then seek me out. Okay, cool. I'm gonna come drive you to church every morning. You know, every Sunday morning I'm gonna drive you. You know, and I got a lot from that. And two, I got not just imparted with information. You know what comes with it? Relationships, but also like edification. Cause then I'm pointing out y'all gifts and I'm telling y'all what y'all gifts are. Like that does something for you.
So what about
if you don't know? That does something for you when like he told us our gifts. So if that's y'all gifts, then what y'all need to be doing?
Doing our gifts.
That's that African structure, man.
But also
the elders.
What about, all right, so you mentoring me, right? But what am I call you out on your BS?
If I'm BSing on you, for sure. Why would I would want you to do that?
Yeah.
Or at least, and when you say call me out, it's like ask me. Like, remember you said you was gonna do this and you ain't doing it.
Because I have been in that situation, like, I'm gonna give it to you on this day. Then it's like been a week. I got so frustrated that I snapped. But I apologized the next day because I snapped through a text, but I apologized the next day. But when I got to him on the phone, I said that wasn't really me. It was just the frustration of, like, I feel like I'm getting played. You know, you constantly say you're going to do this. Now, you got on my ass about me not giving you no paperwork. Now I'm on your ass.
Let me give y'all both a scenario. So, and this is personal with me and Charlemagne. So, he connected with me. It's like, yo, I wanna do this with you, man. All right, cool. Try to hit him. Didn't hear nothing back. Try to hit him. Didn't hear nothing back. After a while, I'm like, yo, is this dude playing me? Like, I really felt like I was being played for a second. And then one day he hit me up. I was in the movie theaters and I ran out, tried to get the phone. Damn, missed the call. Then next day he got me. Then next week he was here. Sometimes, man, people just really busy, bro. Like, I really realized that. And the more that I've been building, I've become like that. So I don't want y'all ever think that if y'all hit me, that I'm ignoring you. Or if anybody who's listening and you try to do that, it's not an ignore. It's just like, the bigger you get, it's so much that get on your plate that you got to do. You got to prioritize how to do it. The only difference is, if I'm telling you that I'm going to do it, and then don't do it, then that's an issue.
Right.
If I keep telling you that I'm going to have something by this date or this date, then that's an issue, man. Like, I ain't going to give you no date. I told him I wanted to sit down with him, but then I'm like, yo, let's do a podcast. So I already knew I'm going to be able to kill two birds with one stone. Even though that analogy right now, people have an issue with that whole analogy. We're in a different age, bro. You killing birds? No, I ain't killing no birds, man. So it's just that, man. Just like, I think younger people have to find a mentor too, you know, even if they're a couple years older than you. And sometimes age ain't even got to do with it.
Yeah, it's the small intangibles, I think, that hold us back. Like you said, even reaching out for help. If somebody extends an olive branch to you, being young, sometimes, you know, especially in our community, you know what I'm saying? I don't like to demonize our community, but it's just something that I noticed. I'll speak for myself. It's always been hard as a young black man to even accept help because you're not used to even it being extended. So it's just like, man, it got to damn near come to my doorstep for me to even reach back out. And it's like, dang, we don't understand the concept of one person reaching out their hand and then you meeting that hand and it's a handshake. It's like, man, he got to come to my house. He got to do that. And I think it's a lot of stuff in it because it's just like what Spank said. Like, you know, somebody do something, I call them out. Like, we just don't even understand in business and in mentorship, man, we can't call out our mentors, man. We got to figure out a different way in order to do that, in order to be like, nah, in this level, it ain't no like, you know, friend to friend, I cuss out my homeboy. We don't call him out. We just sit down and we like discuss it like, man, you fell short of this. Like, you gave your word about this.
And I ain't know how to communicate at that time. Like, I did it twice. You feel me? I can see why he
because I didn't did it.
Yeah, I did it twice with my mentor, and it kind of sucked. I learned so much from him.
Yeah, but to me, if you doing that with me, depending on the way you doing it, that's passion. You passionate about it. You care about it. And you really want what I'm saying that I got for you.
Yeah.
So I would be like more like, well, let me make sure that I do what I say I'm gonna do. But I would communicate that with you better too, so that way you don't end up with them same feelings.
Yeah, because I felt bad because the second time I did it, his son was in a coma.
Oh yeah.
But at the same time, you still got to communicate that with me.
Yeah, if you don't know that though.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it was just like, you know, I got all this game from you. You brought me to a different level. And I ain't gonna say I'm on your level, but mentality-wise, I am. So that's the reason why I came the way I came at you, because I remember when I was BS and you came at me. Yeah. And I'm just catching what you doing. What you you said you gonna do this. Hey, I need you to.
And it ain't nothing but an apology and an understanding. You gotta have the empathy to be able to be like, this is what's going on. Right. If I tell you my son in a coma, then all of a sudden
it changes.
It changes. It's communication though. But sometimes, again, back to that thing, when if you got somebody who's a mentor who really doing it, he on the mountain or she on the mountain.
Yeah, he on the mountain, I ain't gonna lie.
And that air is thin up there.
He on the mountain, I ain't gonna lie.
So looking down, think of how many other people texting him or her.
Yeah, and he is a busy person, so I respect him more now. I understand him more now. But yeah, he is like,
man, I even see that. I even see that with one of the guests I was trying to get on the show. That gave me some much needed perspective, because I guest said he was gonna come on the show, and then so elusive, and I'm like, dang, that is true. That is true. It's just like, man, you probably getting a million other, but when you give your word about something. But that is deep, because I even see it in myself as well. Like, I say, man, and I'm like, man, I had so much to do. So
yeah, well, that's again back down to that thing is olive branch to both of y'all. Like, it's not about me being anywhere. It's just I have to do that for you. That's how we build stronger generations
and communities.
Is by taking what I'm getting and passing that down to you, and you're gonna have your own struggles. To think that you're gonna now I'm gonna avoid, you're gonna be able to avoid a lot, but even in that avoiding a lot, there's gonna be other challenges that you're gonna have that I didn't have maybe, but they all kind of fall under the same kind of challenges. Scarcity is the biggest challenge that you're gonna face. I don't have, right? I ain't got enough of. The scarcity. And that throws you into fear. The best thing I can show you is how to get out of fear response and stay present and grounded in the midst of those challenges,
Or scarcity being there's not enough for both of us.
That
so it's
too.
like, hey, man, we got to, one of us got to get it. It's going to be mine. And I feel like I see that even in podcasting, And I heard Charlamagne talk about it. Said it's like you in the top 10% if you like above 5,000 listens a month or something. Like, damn, that's crazy. I never even think about that. But it's really a hierarchy. But when you really think about it, I think that's why this is important. Because I was thinking like, man, one day I was thinking to myself like, man, I should just we should move the podcast to Atlanta. And I didn't bring it up to him several times. Like, man, move the podcast. But it's like, man, I can't run away from the challenge just because it's difficult being a podcast in Detroit.
I mean, that's one way to think about it. But that's one way to think about. But why is that running away?
It's not because
If you have the ability. Honestly, I'm a young guy who moved to Miami and stayed there for 6 years. Y'all young, y'all ain't got kids. Get up and out, bro. But
Yeah, and that's the only thing, man.
Get up and get out if you got to. Atlanta, you gonna build. You probably build quicker.
No facts.
No, I want to bring it back though. I want to
If
bring it back.
If that's what you want to do, then that's what you want to do. But
like,
it's not about you running. It's about you really wanting to do it. I'm the same way. I could have moved. My friend said, David, they don't appreciate you in Michigan.
To be honest, though,
Cali.
I feel like we should move to
Atlanta. I feel like except Atlanta,
I ain't moving nowhere, bro. I'm like this. I built this out of my own backyard. I didn't want to come back home. I didn't. I was sick. I wasn't well. I wasn't mentally, emotionally well. I had to. I said I'd never come back here. And now that I'm back here, home, man, you can't. Like they always say, there's no place like home. Well, I ain't even talking about the actual physical location. I'm talking about what's inside of me. This is the home that got better. So now I'm here, and it's gloomy outside, and it's snowy. I'm still good, bro. I like the seasons changing now. Why? Because I got good within myself first. Not running. I can go live in paradise and go live in Miami and all that. But, no, man, I built it here. But I understand people who leave outside here. They say, man, you know, it's hard to be a prophet in your own town. You know, Jesus, they ain't really accept them like that. Why? Because ain't you the carpenter? Why you trying to tell me you the Messiah? What? Yo, you was putting shingles on roofs and stuff, you know? That's Ahmad. That's Spank. Spank ain't nobody.
You know what? And that's crazy. That's crazy because when we first started, I was like, man, yeah, Detroit, man, they on our back. And our biggest audience is in Seattle. And then it goes like down from there. Then
so
New York, Atlanta.
Move anywhere?
Yeah.
Because your audience is going to be anywhere.
They're going to come find us.
The only reason why I'll say the good move be to Atlanta because of the guests we can get on. Everybody's down there. So, you know, we can get QC, Lil Baby, Migos, 2 Chainz. You know what I'm saying? You can easily get access, Tyler Perry, we can easily get access to those mega stars on the podcast.
Yeah.
You know.
So it would take time. It would take time for something. Yeah.
That ain't nothing but a trip.
Right, though.
Ain't nothing but a couple $100 trip. Get a studio. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go travel and go record. EYL, you see what EYL doing?
Yeah.
In Africa right now.
Yeah.
Guys in Africa. You know what? Rashad and Troy set the model for y'all.
They did.
See, my model is different because I'm building physical locations on top of. This is my channel to push, you know, what I'm doing. So y'all's are different. If y'all just trying to build a podcast, you can follow that whole model they got. But see, guess who got the relationships to them?
You. Also, I realized on their model, they also have some. They got the business structure to back them up to move like that. I feel like we definitely need finances for us to be able to move. And also,
they didn't have the finances starting off though.
They didn't, but I'm talking about now. Like I see how now they're moving with the. And they probably got LLC is in a credit. They probably using their credit to move and writing it all off.
Well,
it's some type of business behind it.
Yeah, I can help y'all with the business stuff, man. Right. Yeah, but yeah, the conversation go on and on top of. Yeah. You gotta get a mentor, man.
Facts.
That's true. Or find a mentor, and it doesn't have to be a mentor that you know. Just get online and find somebody that you resonate with and start devouring their information and put it into practice and fail. Fail quick, fail fast, fail often, and get it out the way and move on so you can grow.
I heard somebody say that the quicker he want to fail as fast as he can, so he know what he do, so he can go on to the next one.
Some people, I'd rather fail in a launch than not launch at all. Because I learned something from the failed launch. I didn't launch it at all. I did have a podcast years ago, like 3 years ago, called Enhanced Potential. I had like 2 episodes, but I never put it up on, I don't know where I think I cut up some clips and put on Instagram, but I never put it out until it came around to do a podcast again. But guess what? I wasn't ready to do a podcast then.
I wasn't either. I was trying to do one. He was my first guest. I had it called Talking Spank.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I had one called Talking Spank. I had him on there, Diesel. And that was it. And I never got a chance.
How many episodes y'all got so far on your podcast?
26.
26.
Y'all got 26 on your podcast right now? Like I said.
26.
Yeah, so I'm today, y'all 30.
Mm.
So we both broke that level.
Mhm.
You
The
know what I'm
7
saying?
episode
The 7 episode mark. And what did he say, Charlamagne? I heard him say that. What did he say though about it being in the top 10% if you got like 5,000?
5,000, yeah, monthly listeners. It's like, 5,000 monthly plays, I think. 5,000, you're in the top 10 percentile.
Well, we in the top 10 percentile. I got more than 5,000.
Yeah, and I was like, damn, that's crazy. I didn't even think about it until when I saw that.
But we'll end on this and we'll talk. That's why this is so important for everybody who's listening, who's young, who's older, whatever. Like, stop. You got to do this thing with tunnel vision. You got to put the blinders on. You know, they put blinders on horses so they can't see the other horses. You got to run like that. And you got to start. And John Morgan, I did a podcast with him about 3 or 4 podcasts ago, and we were talking about he has a podcast, and I want to connect to y'all to get him on y'all's as well. You know, he's looking at his viewers, and he's like, 200 views. I'm like, that's 200 people. I said, what if 200 people was in this room right now? That feels more real to you then. But when you just
a little harder.
But when you look at these viewers or listeners or likes, and you look at it as this digitized form, you totally diminish what it really is. There's one person who looking at y'all stuff who love what y'all got going on. And if you got 5,000 of those people, you know how that's a lot of people, bro.
Mm-hmm.
5,000 people can fill a stadium.
Yeah.
At InvestFest, there was more than 5,000 people out there. You know what I'm saying? So 5,000 people, like these numbers, you can't minimize them. If it's 1 view, if it's 2 view, if it's 3 view,
It's a view.
Keep putting the content out there and keep pushing. Consistency over intensity.
I love it.
Love that.
So who y'all next guest?
We got some stuff. We got some stuff in the works. They just gonna have to tune in and see. But
I will say I had fun on there. So I had fun, and I want to read some of the comments, and they was just like, "Yo, that's what keeps you right." That's like the comments. People like, man, this is these conversations we're having is like blowing people's minds because they ain't never, because we ain't never see us growing up talking the way that we're talking.
We all grew up the same, I feel like.
Yeah, it's a shared. We have a shared commonality. That's what culture is. But I like listening to. I'll listen to the rappers like podcasts. It gives you history of what was going on as they was coming up. So it feels better because you were there. You know what I'm saying, and you get their perspective. So last question. What's the best thing you've learned so far? Well, I don't say the best things. What's some impactful things you learned so far from some of your guests?
Get out that freeze. That man, that's when you was talking, I'm just like, damn, that's a lot of me. Like, if my girl ain't tripping on, I'm toxic, bro. I'm thinking, she want, why she ain't acting this way? Why she ain't tripping? I
was telling him that earlier. I analyze everything now. Once you
Yeah.
get the tools, you just start using them every day, and it's difficult to put them down. But I think, one of the things that I learned is just not to take it so hard on myself.
I'm hard as hell on
the
myself.
conversation that we had after I did the podcast the first time when I was on. And you was just telling me and I know it wasn't an on-air conversation, but just conversations that sparked from having these platforms. And you were just telling me man, you don't need to be try to be so perfect. Like that community trauma, that stuff is so deep. I didn't understand how deep that was. And I had to take a step back from every community for real. You know what I'm saying? And not trying to demonize anything, but it's just, I needed to really just sit back and reflect and just woosah. Because I didn't understand it was a thing until you even gave a word to what it is. And it's like, that's how I always felt like that even in jobs. You know what I'm saying? You work a job, you get acclimated in the community, and it turns toxic, and you feel like you can't leave because they got a hold on you. I feel like that community trauma was a big thing for me, man. I learned to let go of a lot of community trauma, man, and embrace other community, so it's a beautiful thing.
I just learned to be authentic too, though. Be like, accept my flaws and accept everything I have and continue just to grow and become stronger. Don't look down on myself.
Yeah.
I think that's that's big, that's one of my biggest things. I look down on myself. I'm very, like you said, I'm very hard on myself. And I can't figure out why. Like, I got to look at all the things I have accomplished and look at all the great things I have done. But I don't look at it, until my homeboy said something the other night. Like, damn, bro, you doing your thing. Actually felt good.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll leave you this. You got to understand that perfectionism is a trauma response. Specifically, we grew up where we could never do right. If you always had a parent or somebody always, looking down on what you've done and it's not good enough, then you try to be perfect to try to please people and everybody. So once we can, this is how we become more powerful men, is by bridging our light and our dark, knowing that you're going to be a hero to somebody and some people you're going to be a villain. And I'm okay with both. Till next time, guys.
Yes, sir.
You dig.
Yes, sir. You dig. That's right. That is so true, bro. I love it. That's true. That is so true, man.
You've been listening to the Inner Wealth Podcast on EYL.
Get out the matrix and live.
Theme song produced by Be Ready for West Coast Creations. I am Razcast, reminding you to take action, be proactive, be congruent. Get out of the matrix, get your mind right. We've automated mental health at inception. Join the movement. Inner Wealth Podcast. Inner Wealth Podcast. Inner Wealth Podcast.
Get out the matrix and live.